What's up guys, Cloudie here, checking in from the America server, and we're gonna continue climbing Tower of Challenge, going to floor 79 now, where we are facing the shield Imperial Army shield bearer captain. Now I'm an idiot who manages not to save their recordings or not to record their runs, so I have to redo this now. But let's see. Usually I actually do this with the exact same team that I used for the previous stage with Miriam. But meanwhile, I remember that these stuff were actually added before soul weapons, so it should be quite doable without them. So instead of going with my usual crow team, I decided to switch things up a bit and I used Chrisha. But let's see what the boss actually does. So he is a human type physical damage dealer who doesn't do actually damage. He has a lot of defense. If you compare it to like Miriam, then if you go one step down, then you can see that compared to Miri, he does have a lot of defense. But that's like the smaller problem with him. The main issue is two things. He reflects damage to you, and he has a stacking debuff or buff on himself. Whenever you crit him, he gains a stack of this buff, which is lasting for about 2 seconds. And if that buff reaches 50 stacks, then he does this super jump that just wipes you out. So basically, you do not want to crit him too often. You want to keep that buff from going too high. And the way you do that is that basically you nerf the crit rate of all of your supports and your tank, and you only have crit on your DPS, and you try to bring someone who is not a terribly fast hitter. Crow was super OP for this because he could just do this without ever reaching the maximum stack. But yeah, basically you don't want someone with very fast hits, because then you will just stack up the debuff really fast. And of course, because of his high defense, defense shred or ignore defense is really powerful, but you have to be careful with the feedback damage, the reflect damage, because that will kill you. So I'm using Chrisha. We will check the gears after the run itself. Chrisha can ignore defense with her S2, but you will see that she does take a lot of, S1, but she does take a lot of damage from it. So something to keep in mind. So we're gonna use Love Rill with her S2 perk to keep Chrisha from dying. And if she gets ever gets there, then you can see that yeah, she does take fair amounts of damage there. They have to keep kind of rotating the skill from both Love Rill and Mediana, so our Chrisha doesn't die. If the timing gets a bit tough, like here, I might die. Nope. Okay. So yeah, then you can switch out to her other form that will save you from dying. But yeah, otherwise you can just keep going with that. Okay, cutting it a bit close again. And that's basically the fight. You can see the buff up there, but since we are not... let's not die at the very end, please. So since we are not hitting that fast, this is fairly easy. Now I'm gonna show you the gears I was using. Yeah, my Chrisha is really low investment, but I just wanted to use her because she gets so little screen time nowadays, because, well, you know, she's mainly a PvP meme, and she has been kinda power creeped in the supporter role, and it's just not really there. So yeah. But let's see. So my Love Reel was using, of course, again the Transcendence 2 perk to keep Chrisha alive, and yeah, I was using this 4-star Rip, so that helps a lot. I also shouldn't press stop that hard. I was using my 3-star Feather and normal Mediana perks. So my Chrisha was using fairly decent gear, but you can see she is a 2-star unique weapon with a very base soul weapon. The gear itself is good, I'm not gonna deny that, but at this point you should be having like a fairly built DPS, which you can either load up with penetration, or if they can ignore defense, then they can do that too to get through the boss. And then my Jane was using some pretty baseline gear with a 1-star pumpkin. So that's it really. I said the main part of the fight is to not reach 50 stacks, because then the boss wipes you, and to not die from the feedback damage. Most characters who do not ignore death will not really kill themselves unless they hit too fast. Crow can one-shot himself if you do not have the buff up on him, but since I usually do this with both Lavril and Mediana, that's generally not an issue. So yeah, this was floor 79, guys. Hope you found it helpful. If you have questions, leave them in the comments, and then we will be moving on to Lucikiel, the final boss of the tower. So this has been Cloudie. See you in the next one. Bye bye.